Hi everybody, this is Rebecca Lynn Barkley, aka Boobop1970. This is my review for the day. And today's review, ladies and dudes, well my friends, it's that time again for a brand new movie review to begin. And since my last movie review was the Les Miserables, the 2012 version, and now it's time for a brand new movie review that nobody has never seen, or never done before. So anyway, for my next movie review is going to be called Tarzan, one of the best Disney films of all time, with the most greatest details I have ever seen in this movie, and it deserves to be one of the best legendary Disney movies of all time. So without further ado, ladies and dudes, let's head on to my 13th movie review of Tarzan. So the movie starts off somewhere around in the deep part of in the jungle, somewhere around in Africa. There was this cute little baby named Tarzan who was with this human family back in that time, where he and his folks are going to live together peacefully in the jungle in this really cool tree house that they're going to live in. After all, Tarzan's parents worked so hard in that tree house so they could live together in harmony and try to stay close as a family. But as you may know, still in the beginning of the movie, that Tarzan's parents got killed by a leopard somewhere around in the nightfall, I guess. And Tarzan's all alone. He has nobody with him right now, and I guess everybody was saying, how will Tarzan ever survive the deep part of the jungle? Well, there's a whole lot of danger ahead in the later on story. And so there was this beautiful, sweet ape named Kala who had took Tarzan in and start raising the child as her own. And as you may know, somewhere later on in the story, Tarzan grew up to become a fine young man. He has great skills as an ape, and he started making friends with so many animals that he can, and try to become the next king of the jungle. And then, as you may know, later on in the story, he began to fall in love with this human woman named Jane, and he knows that there's something that he's missing from himself when he became the ape man for all of his life, and he never discovered what the human life is like, even the time when he was a little baby. So I guess there's a lot of questions remain in this movie. Will ever Tarzan find out who he really is? Is he really an ape or a man? Or will he ever discover what danger is ahead when he goes somewhere deep inside the jungle? Or what the heck is going to happen to his ape family if he'll ever protect his ape family or not, while a group of hunters are going to go after them and start, killing them off, or just take them for selling, I guess. So, anyway, ladies and dudes, that is my whole entire plot of Tarzan. And I will say, for this great movie, I just love everything about it. I love the storyline, I love the characters, I love the animation, I love the score, and also I really love all the songs that came from one of my most favorite singers and songwriters of all time, Phil Collins. I mean, this movie had truly blew me away when I was a kid. This is one of the best detailed movies of all time, in my own opinion. So let's go ahead for the strongest points and the weakest points of this movie. I will say the strongest points of Tarzan is definitely all the songs that came from the legendary singer and songwriter of all time, Phil Collins. I will say Phil Collins Collins did a fantastic job with all these great songs that fit so well for the movie. I love all 4 of these songs, like Two Worlds, Son of Man, Stranger Like Me, and You'll Be in My Heart. But I will say my most favorite song out of all of them is definitely Son of Man. I frickin' love this song. It had a really good storyline about when Tarzan is finally learned to become somewhat of a man, but somewhat of an ape at the same time, I guess, and start, to become a good man while he's in the jungle. And I will say Tarzan was very well trained. I mean, he trained very well, to swing the vines, and, he likes to swim in the waterfall and try to get along with the animals. And most of all, I like the part when Tarzan finally made a weapon for himself. Make sure that there's no dangerous animal that'll come by to him somewhere around the later on story. So I will say the strongest point of this movie is definitely all the songs that came from Phil Collins. I mean, Phil Collins is truly the man, and I really love him for doing the whole entire movie for the songs. I mean, way to go, Phil Collins. You are truly the man. And as for the weak point in the movie, it's 0. I have no weak points at all for this movie. I mean, this movie has one of the best detailed parts that I enjoyed from everything in this film. I will say the second strongest point is the details. I mean, from the hand drawn to the movements and some computer graphic stuff. I mean, all the above. This is a very well done movie. One of the best films I will never forget. And now let's go on to the characters of the movie. And don't worry, ladies and dudes, I won't talk about when Rosie O'Donnell played Turk. I know in everybody's opinions that's their most biggest weak point in the movie, is seeing Rosie O'Donnell playing a gorilla, if you know what I mean. So don't worry, I'm not going to talk about her and her character. But I will talk about these 4 good characters I frickin' enjoyed of this movie. First off, let's go on with Kana. That sweet female ape played by Glenn Close. I will say for Kana, she is one of the most sweetest characters I have ever seen in this movie. She is very, very nice. She's so kind. She has a pure heart. She is so freaking sweet to Tarzan, and she really loved him very much. And I will say for Glenn Close, she did a pretty good job playing with this character. I think this is one of her best performances I have ever seen in one of her films. The only films that I will never forget for Glenn Close is when she played Cruella de Vil for the live action of the 101 Dalmatians, and also when she played Alex for Fatal Attractions. But I will say, her as Kana, she is definitely my most favorite character that Glenn Close had ever played, and this is one of her best performances I have ever seen in this movie. So I will say, Glenn Close, thank you so much for playing Kala. I really enjoyed your voice, I really enjoyed your performance, and I think this is one of your best roles I have ever seen so far in your career. And the next one will have to be Tentar, played by Wayne Wright. I hope I got his name right. Wayne Wright. I will say for Tentar, he is a pretty cool comedy relief character in the whole entire movie. He's really funny. He's a really cool elephant character with the red skin, and I like his tusk, and let's just say he's freaking funny. He's very entertaining, and he's pretty darn cool, and I really like Tentar. And I do like the part where he did help Tarzan a little bit, Tentar rescued him and the humans from those evil hunters that come from in that boat, if you remember the boat scene. So yeah, Tentar is a really cool character, and I enjoyed Wainwright's performance overall. And for the third character I enjoyed is Jane, played by Minnie Driver. As you may know her, she plays Carlotta for the Phantom of the Opera. I will say for Mary Driver, who played Jane, this is her much better performance. I really enjoyed her performance as Jane. She's really funny, she's very entertaining, she's a fantastic love interest for Tarzan. I just love all the moments that she and Tarzan have when they had feelings for each other, and I will say Jane is a perfect match for Tarzan. I think the most perfect queen for Tarzan's life while he is the king of the jungle, if you know what I mean. So I will say Jane is a really nice character, and I do love her overall. And now let's go on to the main character of the movie, is Tarzan, played by Tony Groven. It's going to be hard to pronounce his last name, but I will say for his performance as Tarzan, he did a fantastic job with this character. I love every single detail about Tarzan. He's really strong, he's very mature, he's very serious most of the time, and no matter what, he'll find a way to protect his ape family no matter what, for all eternity, I guess. And I will say that Tarzan is a really cool character, very darn interesting. He's a very well detailed character, and yeah, I think he'll be the third strongest point of the movie. And I wish I could say something else, but that's all I want to say about the main character of Tarzan. So anyway, ladies and dudes, here we go. The moment y'all been waiting for is my final thoughts of Tarzan. Overall, Tarzan is such a fantastic movie. One of the most greatest epic masterpiece Disney films of all time. I love the storyline, I love the characters, I love the animation, I love the score, I love all the songs of Phil Collins, and most of all, it is one of the best detailed movies of all time, and coming really soon in the future, maybe I could do a top 10 or top 5 list of my favorite detailed movies of all time. And I think Tarzan might be somewhere on my top 5 list. So anyway, ladies and dudes, I decided to give this movie a perfect high rating score of 10 out of 10. You have better watch this movie to believe it. So anyway, ladies and dudes, that is my whole entire movie review of Tarzan. I hope you enjoyed this movie review, and I did the best I could for it once again, since it's going to be really hard for me of what could I remember about this film. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this movie review, and join me next time for my next one. I'm not sure what my next movie review is going to be. Will it be Tron Legacy, or Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2, or The Night in the Museum 2, The Battle in Smithsonian? Well, whichever my next movie review is going to be, I will tell you about it very, very soon. So anyway, this is Rebecca Lynn Barkley, aka Boobop 1987, sayonara!